everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm excited to share with you how social media and AI tools can work together to make your lodging property more visible online. AI can be somewhat intimidating, especially in how it may affect your business. So let's see how we can work with AI to get more exposure. Let's start out with a question. As a lodging professional, how do you feel about AI with your business today? Are you confident? Do you already use it? You know that your customers are using it and you're feeling great about it? Or are you cautious? You know it exists, you're interested in learning more about it, but you feel uneasy about it. Maybe you're not sure exactly what you should be thinking about it, privacy concerns, etc. Or are you overwhelmed? You just can't even bring yourself to think about AI because it's just too much. There's too much information, you see conflicting reports all the time, and you just don't know what to think, and you just don't want to deal with it. Or maybe you are just uninterested. Like it's a thing, it's there, but I don't want to learn about it. I don't want anything to do with it. No matter how you feel about AI, it is happening. Your potential guests are using it every single day, and you have to be aware of it. You have to know how it's going to affect your business. If you've pulled a turtle about AI and you haven't even peeked out to look at it, unfortunately, you're not in a good position right now. But we have good news. Today, we're going to be going over the different ways you can use AI to help market your business, to understand how your guests are using it, and get over the jitters. Use it correctly to get the best results for your lodging business. This is what we're going to cover today. Why you can't ignore AI, the role of AI in marketing for your lodging, how to use AI to create great content, and best practices. So let's talk about why this matters now. So as you can see from our slide here, this is a query for New England Inns and Resorts, and you've got your regular Google results here. You've got TripAdvisor, Instagram, and then over on the other side, you can see the discussions and forums feature and TripAdvisor again. So that's great. We know about TripAdvisor. We rely on TripAdvisor for the business, but we also see Instagram listed right there. And that is excellent news for lodging properties, especially if you're new, you're just starting out, or you're rebranding with a new domain or a new website. Because Instagram is a way that you can use your social media to get your name out there, even if Google doesn't index your site right away. So excellent news. It's brand new. It just started in July of 2025. We love that. But then we also see the discussions and forums feature here. And that is a new feature that Google has. It relies on Reddit, Facebook, all these different sort of discussion forums. And AI gets information from these things. So we really need to pay attention to many different facets. So to stay competitive, you have to learn about a new form of SEO. It is Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. It's the strategy that quietly says, oh, you will notice us, and then it delivers. This is a conversation with Google's Gemini. And it explains to me where it's finding information about the best place to stay in downtown Portland, Oregon for a conference. As you can see, it starts with the same information you or I can find by searching Google, but it also uses structured data to find the specific data points like distance and star ratings, all the information that people are going to look up online. It takes all of that information and synthesizes it into an answer to your query. And that happens like this, within seconds. So, why does this matter now? Social and search are merging. We saw Instagram's on the homepage. AI overviews and the discussions and forums feature are coming up in Google for many more queries related or adjacent to lodging, like things to do, tours and activities, recommendations of places to stay that are good for families or people traveling with pets. So think long tail queries. Like, remember when we first started hearing about voice search and we started talking about long tail queries? Same thing, but now it's AI. AI overviews and Google features, which pull from social, blogs, and reviews. According to Tech Radar, 40% of consumers are now using AI tools instead of search engines to inform their buying decisions. This shows exponential growth as potential guests are beginning to use AI more often for their buying decisions. Because of that, We have to publish content that search engines and LLMs, which is just large language models, it's just how the AI kind of learns, and guests understand. Let's look at some differences. Here's a traditional Google search. So you enter your query or your question, and we see the sponsored results first, which are the ads, then the travel 3-pack. Everybody knows what that is. And then the next 10 organic results, including the local tourism, travel sites, TripAdvisor, few individual properties, Reddit, and a second 3-pack feature, which is awesome because now we can see up to 9 properties featured on the first page of results in the little local packs, and then maybe even 6 more on page 2. And now on this video, we're looking at a search in Google's AI mode. This is optional for now, but I really think it is going to end up being the default and probably even non-optional in the future. So as you can see in the video, the AI citations are coming up from multiple sources, not just a few websites. Diversification is how we need to think about everything with AI. So AI is your assistant for brainstorming, planning, and writing. It can take the stress out of content creation. Everything from simple things like hashtags and alt text, which is like, ugh, it's so boring, but you have to do it, all the way to heavy projects like content calendars and blog post content. But the quality of your AI's response is all about the prompt, thus the name of this session. Your prompt is simply the words that you use to tell AI what you want from it. The more specific you get, the better the results. What prompts do? They give context and instructions so the AI understands what you want. We're going to say context so many times today. They give data, the main information, which the AI uses to give you an answer, and they define behavior. Your prompts set the tone for the conversation. They also facilitate specific actions, so you can ask it for a top 5 list, a graph, a Q&A, etc. In this slide, you can see that I asked Gemini, what do prompts do for you? And this was the response. You can see Gemini remembered our previous conversation about Portland, Oregon, the conference, and used it as an example in the explanation of how it determined the answer it gave me. So think of writing a prompt like giving directions to a chef in the kitchen. The instruction is the specific recipe you want. So bake a chocolate cake. The context is the specific flavor and ingredients available. Use dark chocolate, no walnuts. The constraint or role is the plating or the style. So it needs to be a 3-layer cake with elegant French decoration. And the input data is all the ingredients on the counter that the chef needs: flour, eggs, chocolate, baking soda, etc. So just as that chef needs all 4 to create the perfect dish, the AI needs all 4 parts of your prompt to generate the perfect response. AI has a logical series of steps. So now we're going to learn how AI works so you understand it as you're moving forward and using it. So let's talk about the steps that it takes. So the first idea is tokenization. The prompt that you have typed in or spoken in is broken down into numerical tokens, which are words, pieces of words. It can be even punctuation. And then AI's neural network can understand those little tokens. Then context comes back in, so AI analyzes the sequence of those tokens to understand what is your intent. What do you want from this? Is it a question? Do you want a summary, a creative writing prompt, etc.? Then you have your information retrieval or the search. So if the prompt requires current or external information, AI will recognize the need to use search tools like Google to find relevant data. Query fan out that we've talked about in past webinars that we've done. And then prediction. So based on the prompt and any retrieved data, AI starts predicting the most statistically probable and contextually appropriate next token, word, punctuation, etc., to form the start of the answer. And then it continues this token by token until the complete coherent response is generated. So basically, every interaction you have from the initial question to your follow-up is a prompt that directs AI's behavior and output. So now this is another chart that I asked Gemini, like, will you please give me a top 5 list of things to do in Hocking Hills on a 3-day trip in the fall? So you can see from this that the words you use in the prompt are the impetus for extremely helpful results and why you need to be very specific with your query. This is awesome insight into how AI generates info, so check the handout for the session to get the details. So, that Hocking Hills itinerary. This is just day one that Gemini generated in response to my prompt. So starting here, I can ask it to format the information into a blog post, 3 social media posts, a script for a video. I mean, the possibilities aren't endless, but it's lots. I have always said that the best way to learn how something works after you get your basic instructions is to get in there and use it. You've heard me say this before. AI is no different. Ask what it can do for you and get the benefit of millions of GPU training hours right from your own laptop in seconds. So let's talk about how to use AI as a smart strategy. So a calendar for your content. You may be in a situation where you're like, I don't know what to post. I can't think of anything. It's too much. I got to clean rooms. I got to make beds. I got to go shopping. Forget about this calendar. Well, this is where the calendar is important because it's going to lay out things for you. You'll know what's coming up and you won't have to rack your brain at the last minute. So themes and categories help you plan ahead and stay visible year-round. Here's the prompt. Make a 30-day Instagram plan for your niche, your property type, in your area during the month of December 2026, focusing on holiday activities and events. So in this case, I used, ChatGPT. It gave me a post for every day, including the captions, hashtags, and the calls to action, or CTAs. Strategies, ideas for reels, even video and production tips, which, believe me, I need that, and partnership cross-promotion ideas. Do you have time to sit down and, just put that all together yourself, or will you let ChatGPT take a shot at it in 5 seconds? And that is just 1 week of ideas. Don't forget, your prompt gives AI what it needs to generate what you want, so be specific. Think of context, who, what, where, why, how, and tell it what you need. So if you don't get the results you were expecting, you can refine your prompt. If it's more than you need, refine the prompt further. Like, I want a 500-word blog post with bullets and a downloadable Google Sheets itinerary. Yes, you can do that. Don't forget to ask AI to make the content attractive to AI as well. We can't forget that beyond being a wonderful content helper, AI is also the future of search. Whenever we're adding any content to the internet, whether that's a blog article, a social post, or even an email newsletter, you have to keep in mind what AI responds to. And that's how we show up in AI citations. I have a theory that in the future, we'll have an AI concierge when we are asking Google about travel-related topics. It's like you're just gonna say, this is what I want, and it's gonna go out and find all of the information for you, put it into an entire itinerary, and then you can say book it, and you'll be done. So now let's talk about where AI gets its data. That's that LLM. They are trained on data sets, those millions of hours that we just talked about by taking advantage of. They are gathering not only data, but also learning how to speak like humans. As you use AI and have that conversation, you're going to notice it's going to start talking like you do. So be yourself when you're talking to AI. Don't be all stiff and like tap, tap, tap. Use your own voice. The AI assistant, whichever one you use, you can use multiple. They're going to pull data from Google, Bing, and other proprietary indices. So that stat right there, about 90% of all content not getting traffic, that is scary. But keep in mind, that is mostly thin, irrelevant, un-SEO'd content that doesn't meet EAT, which is your experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It doesn't answer questions, and it doesn't meet a need. So the goal with your content is to make it useful to people first, and then search engines and AI. So what type of content appeals to AI? Clear, structured, brand-aligned messaging makes it easier for AI to surface your site. FAQs, schema markup, and consistent brand language help AI answer with your perspective. So for example, if customers ask, what time is check-in? And your FAQ clearly states your check-in time, AI is more likely to lift that answer verbatim. It'll show up in a citation. So here's a stat. Schema markup increases click-through rates by up to 25% in the SERPs. If it works in regular Google, it'll work in AI. So how do you put that into action? You're going to pretend to be AI. You're going to audit your site. You're going to scan it and look at your content. Does the language, structure, and clarity reflect how you'd want your brand to appear in AI summaries? Does it answer a question and meet a need? That's what you need to look for. How can you give AI what it needs? So multi-channel, diversification, various sources. Just think of that. That is the name of the game for AI to source your content and cite you. Your business website is still very important. Please don't say, I don't need a website anymore. You do. It's your main source of truth for all AI, all search engines to get information about your business. So it's important, but you can't just rely on it any longer. Your business needs to be showing up all over the internet. Let's talk about the key channels. Things that you own and can control yourself. Blogs, landing pages, newsletters. You have direct control over them. Make the most of it. Then you have your socials. LinkedIn is important for businesses. Don't neglect LinkedIn. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I know it's scary, but it's really super high engagement. Social media is not nice to have anymore. Hasn't been for a while. It's imperative. You have to have it. And then your third-party things like blog posts, industry directories like Select Registry, ALP, your association sites, all of those things, PR features. So maybe you do a press release about your business or new things that you're doing. Customer reviews, so like think Reddit, TripAdvisor, Select Registry again, associations, and locally relevant businesses. So let's look at these stats. Brands using 3+ channels see 287% higher purchase rates. Like it's a no-brainer. And also, 40% of Gen Z prefers TikTok and Instagram for search versus Google. And these are the people that are getting up into their 30s now. They're going to have disposable income. They're going to be spending money, and we need to be catering to them. So this is what you do now. Repurpose every blog post into multiple content forms like short social posts, video, email snippets, PR pitches. You've got that blog. You've been writing in it for years. Take those posts and use them. And let AI help you. So let's talk about techniques. So you need to have schema markup. AI can do it for you. Tell it what you want it to provide for you, and it can do it. So provide a blog link or the text, paste it into the AI chatbot, and get the schema generated for you. Always, always, always use Search Console. That's Google's free product. It can help you understand how your site is seen on Google. It's Google only, and as well as help Google index your content. Like the queries report, you've heard me say this, it is my favorite report. It's incredible information for any site owner, especially if you're doing your own marketing. Schema markup acts as sort of the translator between your site and the AI or the search crawlers. And then we've got indexing strategies. Submit and monitor sitemaps in Google Search Console. Make sure you've got strong internal linking on your priority pages, back and forth, no orphan pages on your website. Fix crawl errors and avoid duplicate content. Third-party placements, review platforms like we already talked about, directories, backlinks from guest posts or PR. That all boosts your authority and trustworthiness. Now we'll look at a couple of more stats here. 75% of users never scroll past page 1 of the search results. That's very sobering if you're on page 2 or 3. They're not going to see you. And 63% of marketers say improving SEO and organic presence is their top inbound priority. And it is. So how do you do it? Think beyond SEO rankings. AI needs clean, structured, validated data to surface your brand in answers. Complex, multi-step discovery. Like, think of those words. Search and booking is present in over 33% of current travel and hospitality decisions, and it's expected to be 50% before 2027. That's a year, guys, like 12 months. That is why you have to develop buyer personas, which is not complicated. It's very easy, and AI is going to do it, and you probably are already doing it and you don't even realize it. So let's get into it. Most properties struggle with what to post, low reach, and not seeing results. Frustrating, right? Well, the fix is a simple content strategy that helps you stay consistent, clearly shows what makes your property special, and gives potential guests a real feel for the experience you offer. That's content. And that starts with understanding who is your audience. And you can use AI to help. Let's talk about the 3 C's. Clarity. Your foundation is niche and location. Are you a B&B in Cape Cod, an all-inclusive resort in Belize, a desert inn in Santa Fe? It's where you are and what you do. Then we have consistency. Post regularly, keep to the message. And context. There it is again. Be specific so AI knows who you are and who you serve. Use AI to build buyer personas, then use them to help you direct your marketing efforts. Platforms, content, timing. So let's start with 2 to 3 personas. A younger couple with no children who want to experience your area the way the locals do and want plenty of time to do the attractions. They do not have unlimited days off, and they want to make the most of the time that they do have. And then we have our retired or close to it couple with no kids. They want a more comfortable, maybe luxurious stay with recommendations for good places to dine and not overly adventurous events and attractions. If they do decide to do something like that, they want your opinion on how it was. So put on your concierge hat. They have more time and usually more money to spend as well. And then we have our busy couple with 1 or more kids. They are loaded down with all the stuff. They want to have fun with the kiddo, but they also want some time to rest and relax. They need some specific amenities to help, so like a cot or a trundle, room to spread out a little, kid-friendly meals, child-proofing, and maybe like a mini fridge or some place to store all their kids' special drinks or snacks. AI prompt. Create 3 personas for a type, that's your niche, property in this area. AI relies on context. Be specific. There's a big difference between a funky cool hotel in Key West and a high-end dude ranch in Wyoming. I mean, that's 2 different kinds of marketing. So to write truly effective marketing, you have to stop talking to everyone. Don't start talking to them. Stop talking to everyone and start talking to someone specific. So that process begins by writing down the basics of your ideal guest, like who do you want to stay with you? Who do you love when they come stay with you? You're going to focus on demographics like age, travel motivations like a budget, and the trip purpose. The most critical step is to then give them a face and a name. So now it's not just bullet points, it's a person, like Romantic Rachel. By focusing on the guests you already love having stay with you, you can build detailed, relatable profiles that make your marketing messages feel authentic, targeted, and highly effective. So, how to use buyer personas. You're going to write your website copy as if you're talking directly to Rachel. So photos show the experiences Rachel wants. She wants romantic rooms, wine by the fire, sunset views, and your social posts. Share things that would make Rachel stop scrolling and think, that's perfect for me. We have included a blank buyer persona worksheet in the handout for today's session. So use it in conjunction with AI to develop your best customers, then use it to appeal to them with your social media posts, which you will also be building with the help of AI. Let's talk about Rachel for a second. She's our solo female traveler. So think of what that means to somebody. This is a big win. Recently, Kristen of Blue Tang Inn, one of our wonderful Think Reservations customers and also an employee in Belize, had noticed some recent bad press about the accidental deaths of 3 tourists at a hotel in Belize. She started seeing that in the results all the time. So she worked with our content marketing team to put out a blog post explaining that staying at a well-regarded resort like her Blue Tang Inn was the way to go. further how safe the town they're in is, how to keep safe, and finished with a final section reiterating not only the safety of the resort, but also its amenities and benefits. And then they also sprinkled the post with guest comments about how awesome the resort is. Get this, Kristen has attributed $13,000 in bookings to that post alone. It's got clarity. Belize is safe. Context, in response to recent news stories and as a lodging property in Belize, and then consistency. This is how the business is run all the time. I love that story. It's just perfect. It is an example of what we're talking about today. So when you're working with AI, it is very, very important to be clear, context, be specific. Who is your audience? What tone do you want to convey? And to provide the AI with data about what you're asking from it. A newsletter, a blog post, a review. Like, think about review responses. You get a bad review. Like, you want to say, listen, you jerk. you don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know if you stayed here. We don't want to do that. Remember, we're responding to people that are going to read this in the future. So after you get an answer, refine that response and refine your prompt to get the answer you're seeking. It's awesome for review responses. So here's an example of how to use a prompt and how not to use a prompt. So like your first example is say, hey AI, make a campaign for our fall sale. That is way, way too vague. AI is going to return a generic AI sounding paragraph that will not entice your guests, feature your property, or sound like you. So now let's talk about a prompt that will produce real results. So here we go. Create a multi-channel campaign for our fall returning customers. The goal is to re-engage customers who haven't stayed in the past 6 months. Personalize each message and combine with the event offer, so like 15% off or whatever. Draft email and SMS messages in a friendly, exclusive tone. We're telling it how we want to sound. Then create a customer journey that optimizes engagement. You are going to get such better results. After you get the better result, you didn't keep refining, keep adding to your prompt. Maybe you want to say like, I want to be warm, but elegant or friendly and down to earth. Now you have a result that is clear, tells the potential guests what they will get and for how much, is the inspirational, targeted to the right guest. Continue refining until you have something that works for you. But I have a tip for you. Don't ever cut and paste without a strong review of your AI generated content. Like you need to read it, read it. You don't want an AI to sell your rooms for $50 a night because it heard the wrong number. So be careful with that. All right, now let's talk about how to use your newly discovered prompting expertise on each individual social. Each platform has a personality. Instagram is visual and reels, Facebook is stories and reviews, and TikTok is trends and behind the scenes. Use clear, descriptive language for AI. An example would be spelling out your caption for a reel about the sunrise on the lake in Maine. So you would get a better result. So like rather than just saying, this view, I mean, that looks really cute in the post, but you need to get something that AI can understand. So you could be like, this view, imagine waking up to this gorgeous scene on Trip Lake when you stay with us in Poland, Maine. And don't forget the hashtags. AI can do that too. Now let's take a look at some examples courtesy of Wolf Cove Inn. So Instagram, all visual and perfect for reels and static images. This reel tells a story of relaxation and escape from the worries of the world by a lake in Maine. Short caption, the video tells the tale, the music is great, perfect for that retired couple looking for a relaxing and comfortable stay. I love this one. So, you know, Facebook, obviously it's the OG, it's been around for a long time, the realm of static images with captions. But don't forget about Facebook Reels. This incredible video describes the travails of an innkeeper in the summertime with a never give up attitude and a hilarious headline. The text says, "From the real boss Skidmore, we need backup on the 3rd floor." And then he reaches out and grabs the plunger. It's amazing. It's got that action-oriented Michael Bay type thing, and it's just awesome. This tells the family, with the kids, that they're going to be staying with fun people who know how to laugh and have a good time, even in stressful situations.
Piper, no! Tsunami! Buddhism! No! No!
And then we have TikTok. I know people are afraid of it, but everything's practicable and everything's redoable. So think about hitting the latest trends with TikTok. This is a very cute video, combines the innkeeper life to the life of a wealthy traveler from the HBO show The White Lotus, and really shows off the innkeeper's personalities and what guests can expect when they arrive. So that young, cool, hip, childless couple understands this place has cool owners who knows what's up. All right, now let's take a look at this beautiful, beautiful post on Facebook. AI learns from clear, keyword-rich posts. Always niche and location. Always, always, always in your caption. Use descriptive keywords naturally. Tie location and niche into every post. I'm going to say it over and over. You have to tell where you are and what you do. Mention what people search for, like Christmas getaway to a Santa Fe Inn. Perfect. So let's talk about the formula. Hook plus detail plus CTA, call to action. This gives structure to every post so it connects with guests and drives action. The hook. This is how you grab attention. Then you have the detail, experience, time of year, setting, and then the call to action. Click, follow, book, etc. So for this example, it's fall in the Berkshires, hits different. Here's your 2025 festival lineup. Cider in hand, leaves crunching underfoot, and small towns glowing with autumn color. Sounds good? We thought so. So cool. And then we're going to talk about blogs. We don't ever want to forget about the blog. Please don't let anybody tell you that blogs are irrelevant. That is not true. They fuel both search and social. You can take one blog post and repurpose it into weeks of content. But don't miss the fine print at the bottom of the results. Down there, always check AI for facts and read it over to add your own special tips and inject your personality. The more specific you are with prompts, the better the output. Refine your prompts over time. Always keep your voice authentic. For example, if you're a traditional Cape Cod Inn, you don't want to sound like that all-inclusive beach resort in Belize, and vice versa. So, pro tips for working with your AI tools. Be specific with your location, tone, and audience. Refine your prompts over time and use your voice. Let AI assist, not replace. So let's do a quick recap. Define your niche and location. Yeah, I said it again. Make a 30-day content plan. Apply the formula, which is the hook, detail, and call to action. Write one blog post a month and stay consistent with keywords plus content. These numbers are going to blow your mind. By posting those short-term videos that we looked at earlier that reach different audiences at different times on different platforms, Wolf Cove Inn increased up sales year over year by a whopping 235%. The numbers speak for themselves. Please don't be afraid. Years ago, when YouTube was brand new, our own Tammy Doriot went out with her phone and made videos of parades and trails and attractions and posted them on YouTube. It was all new. She was on the cutting edge of marketing technology. Even further back, we had a lot of property owners who didn't want to use online reservations. They wanted to speak to each one of their potential guests, and they were intimidated by any new tech. AI and TikTok are just the new things. Don't be left behind. Everything is editable, and you only need a smartphone to get started. You can use an app like CapCut to edit your TikTok videos. It's free. There's a paid upgrade, but you start with the free one. Lots of great tutorials on YouTube how to use it, even on TikTok. AI is readily available to you. Get into it and see how you can use it to build your own content calendar, make suggestions for social and blogs, and even ask it what it wants you to post to get noticed. Want more of this kind of education? Of course you do. Meet Think Academy. If you're finding this session helpful and want more of this kind of content, you should definitely check out Think Academy. Every month we release short topical videos packed with insights for independent lodging professionals. You'll also get the latest industry news and even a 1-hour live Q&A session each month where you can ask anything and get your answers in real time. And the best part? Think Academy isn't just about webinars. It comes packaged with Tier 1 marketing services like our Think Reservations email marketing and your monthly discovery reports, so you can get actionable insights you can put into practice right away. It's really the whole package to help you stay informed and ahead in your business. So, if you want to connect with your guests and make your business stand out online, Think Content is here to help. We create blogs that tell your story, manage your social media so you can stay active and engaging, craft email campaigns that drive bookings, and make sure your online listings are accurate and visible everywhere. It's all about keeping your guests engaged, building loyalty, and turning your marketing into real results. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I know this was kind of long, but AI is kind of complicated, so we had to talk about it. I hope you're leaving with a clearer understanding of how AI works and some practical ideas for using it in your marketing and social media to really make your property stand out. Remember, AI isn't just a cool buzzword. It's a tool that, when used thoughtfully, can help you connect with guests, tell your story, and drive bookings in ways that were much harder to do before. I encourage you to take what you have learned today, experiment, and keep exploring. And if you want even more resources, tips, and opportunities to ask questions, get help, don't forget about Think Academy and Think Content. Our programs are designed to help you stay ahead and keep your marketing strong. Thank you again for joining, and I can't wait to see what you do with these ideas. Hey, we love questions, so hit the chat to get some answers.